We heard from Angel Reese today, and we heard from Tyler Marsh. Tyler Marsh, folks, let's send our best wishes to Tyler Marsh. He's about to be called every name under the book. Sellout, Uncle Tom. They didn't even think, they didn't have the forethought to even say, this is what our story is going to be, and we need to stick to it. This is what our alibi is going to be, and we need to stick to it.
The Wnba has officially opened an investigation into alleged racist remarks, and the so-called evidence is shockingly weak. But what really turned heads? Chicago Sky assistant coach Tyler Marsh just dropped a bombshell about what he did, or didn't, here during the heated matchup. His comments might have just exposed the truth behind this entire controversy. Did Marsh just accidentally unravel the WNBA's narrative in one bold statement?
There was actually something newsworthy said today in regards to the alleged hateful fan comments made toward Angel Reese during the Fever and Sky game on Saturday. Because the Sky actually gathered for practice today, and they spoke, and both the coach and Reese spoke.
Tyler Marsh just dropped a truth bomb that's shaking up the basketball world, and it directly challenges Angel Reese's version of events. So why is the WNBA jumping into a full-blown investigation based purely on social media gossip, with no actual video or audio proof? Instead of celebrating an intense game, we're stuck dissecting drama that seems fueled by online rumors more than reality. So what exactly did Marsh reveal? And what did Reese post online that totally clashes with the victim image she's trying to push? If you're riding with Indiana, drop a "I've got the fever" in the comments. Let's get into it.
More notable comments came from Tyler Marsh, the head coach of the Chicago Sky. Here is what he said without further ado, which is probably the biggest bit of information, actual information we've gotten since this whole can of worms was opened, other than the actual statement.
Coach Tyler Marsh may have just shattered the WNBA's entire investigation with just 6 simple words. "I heard when everyone else did." That was his exact response when asked when he first became aware of the alleged comments during the Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky game. Let that sink in. The Chicago Sky's own coach, who was standing courtside the entire game, says he only found out about the incident at the same time as everyone scrolling through Twitter. Marsh added, "It's something we heard about, and we're just being open with anything the league needs to investigate." It's a subtle statement, but one that could completely blow this controversy wide open.
Talk about investigation, what your team is going to investigation.
Yeah, I think we agree. I think we're, in compliance with them, with the league, and obviously there's no room or space in our game for hate. So we're complying with everything that's going on.
Coach, when did you become aware that there was hate speech that happened?
I think when everyone else did. I think that it's something that we heard about, and so again, we're just forthcoming with anything that the league is able to do investigation-wise.
No one from the Sky organization actually saw anything happen during the game. They're reacting to the same social media buzz we all saw online. Not a single player brought it up. Not during timeouts, not during substitutions, not once on the court.
A quick follow-up on it. Just because you coached in Indiana, did you ever have any issues with that while you were coaching there?
I think my focus was always on the team and on the organization and doing my job as best as I could. And so, that's kind of what it is.
Were you learning this throughout the game or just at that moment?
Oh, I was concentrated on our team and what we were doing in game plan-wise against Indiana. So.
And yet, the WNBA still moved forward with a full-blown investigation. Their official statement reads, "The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter." But notice what's missing: any mention of actual evidence. This was a nationally televised game, filmed from every angle. Courtside mics picked up everything from sneakers squeaking to players chatting and coaches barking out plays. But somehow, no one caught a single racist comment allegedly yelled from the crowd. No reporters courtside heard it. No fans posted videos. No one flagged it to security, not during or after the game. So what exactly is this investigation even based on?
But the telling admission is, we found out, or I found out when everyone else did. When did you become aware? When everyone else did. What does that indicate? That the Sky did not know or did not hear anything in real time or see anything in real time. So that makes the Sky, that makes the Fever, That makes me, that makes everyone I talk to who was in the arena, everyone else who has spoken from the arena.
So let me get this straight. In 2024, in a packed arena full of smartphones, not a single person caught any footage of these supposed comments. The broadcast didn't mention a thing. The commentators stayed silent. The in-arena announcer never issued a warning. Security wasn't called, no one was removed, so seriously, what is the WNBA actually investigating?
That makes no cameras, no cell phones. So far, no nothing. To substantiate the alleged hateful fan comments or fan misconduct or however you want to label it, which makes me question mightily what the investigation is based on. And I would love to hear on the record what the investigation is based on, because based on all the information we have, the leading theory has to be it's based on the social media nonsense.
Who really stands to gain from these accusations? Just take a look at the scoreboard. Indiana 93, Chicago 58. The Sky got completely blown out on their own floor, and Angel Reese was outclassed from start to finish. Yet the WNBA took a few unverified social media posts and gave them the weight of an official investigation, even though not one person at the game confirmed any of it. That's not just reckless, it's seriously questionable. So what actually went down during those 40 minutes of basketball when these so-called comments were allegedly made? Let's focus on what the cameras did catch.
There was another post from an account that I think now went private or deactivated that alleged things were said to Reese, but no even proof that that person was there or not. Whether they were there or not, whether they saw or heard anything or not, nothing to back it up. And if that is indeed the case, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. It really, really now seems like this is based on social media, and that the social media stuff was based on Sky fans online who couldn't handle getting the belt to the ass, who couldn't handle the beating that the Indiana Fever put out on the Sky there.
The entire story starts to unravel the moment you actually watch the game footage. With 4:38 left in the third quarter, Caitlin Clark was hit with a flagrant one foul after making contact with Angel Reese's arm while going for a defensive play. Reese hit the floor. It was physical, sure. Was it a flagrant? That's up for debate, but either way, that's basketball. What happened after the foul is where things get interesting. Reese instantly popped up and went straight toward Clark. Not the crowd, not the fans. Her eyes were locked on Caitlin. Now ask yourself, if Angel had just heard something offensive from the stands, wouldn't she have reacted to the crowd instead? But she didn't. Her focus was 100% on Clark. Aaliyah Boston quickly stepped in to shield her teammate, picking up a technical in the process. Reese also got hit with a tech for her reaction.
After watching Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese and the aftermath, there is no way Angel Reese can continue the lie that she doesn't dislike Caitlin Clark. I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Not some basketball rivalry hate.
Throughout the entire exchange, not a single player pointed toward the stands, flagged down a ref, or reacted like they'd heard anything from the crowd. None of the coaches brought up fan behavior to the officials. The referees didn't issue any warnings. Security was never called. Everyone's focus stayed locked on the action happening on the court. The body language says it all. Angel Reese was clearly fired up over the contact, not something coming from the stands. Every reaction, from Clark, Reese, Boston, the benches, and the coaches, looked like a typical heated basketball moment. Not one player gave any sign they heard something inappropriate from the crowd. Not one.
And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her.
Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever were absolutely dominating the Sky, cruising to a 93-58 victory. A 35-point blowout like that on their home court was nothing short of humiliating for Chicago. The Sky were frustrated, outmatched, and outplayed in every single way. When a team gets crushed this badly, tempers flare, players get annoyed, and small sparks quickly turn into bigger fires. It's just human nature. Chicago's embarrassment in front of their own fans boiled over, fueling the intense clash between Clark and Reese.
After the foul that Caitlin Clark put on Angel Reese tried to hit her. But if it wasn't for Aaliyah Boston putting her arms in the way, Angel Reese would not be playing basketball anymore, because she was gonna sucker punch Caitlin Clark.
So why would Angel Reese and the Sky choose to spotlight supposed fan misconduct instead of owning up to their poor showing? The answer is painfully clear. It's a lot easier to play the victim than admit you got completely outplayed by your biggest rival. What we actually saw on the court was just competitive basketball. Two fierce players got physical, tempers flared, technical fouls were handed out, and the game went on. What's really strange is how fast the story shifted after the final buzzer. The post-game reactions painted a completely different picture than what the cameras caught during the game. Once the game ended, two very different narratives emerged. Angel Reese was the first to strike back on social media, resharing a TikTok that showed several photos of herself next to an image of Caitlin Clark right after the flagrant foul. The caption read, "White gal running from the fade. Street slang for someone avoiding a fight." This wasn't just adding fuel to the fire, it was pouring gasoline all over it.
Oh, Tyler Marsh is about to get run out of Chicago. First things first, let's hear what Angel Reese has to say. Let's hear Angel Reese. And if you guys pay attention, listen to her voice and listen to how she's on the edge of breaking down. Very funny.
Hate speech.
Yeah, obviously there's no place in this league for that. I think the WNBA.
Let's also watch the nervous body language, the nervous twitching. Yeah.
Our team and our organization has done a great job supporting me. I've had communication from everyone, from so many people across this league, and being able to support me and going through this whole process. Obviously, it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone, and I think they've done a great job supporting us in this.
How did it affect you Saturday, trying to do your job, trying to play, and having this going on simultaneously?
Yeah, obviously it's tough, but I think I have a great support system. I'm loved by so many people, and obviously in the moment it's hard to hear, but my support system is great.
In a recent interview, Reese played the victim role flawlessly. She said, "Obviously it's tough, but I have an amazing support system. I'm loved by so many people, and in the moment, it's hard to hear." Notice how she immediately cast herself as the injured party, despite there being no proof of any actual comments during the game itself.
What do you think the league's response, just coming out right away and getting that investigation going?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, they understand that this is the priority. Obviously, there's no place for this, and they preach. I think 2 days before they put out no hate, no speech. And obviously, the women in this league, they know that, and know there's no space for that. And I believe that every player in this league deserves to be treated with respect and want to come to work and just have fun and have a great environment to work at. So I think they've done a great job putting that out, and we're obviously just going to respond as they need to.
Were you able to?
Damn, I really wish Angel Reese would talk and step up about all of her fans calling people all these nasty names. Oh, how being silent is such a blessing. Such a blessing it is to be silent and have nobody being critical of you.
Now, compare that to Caitlin Clark's calm and measured reply when asked about the allegations. Clark said, "There's no place for that in our game, and there's no place for it in society." She went on to mention that she didn't personally hear any hateful remarks from fans, but trusted the league to handle the investigation. No drama, no victim act, just straightforward professionalism.
Like Caitlin said, you know, she answered it perfectly. She said, "I didn't hear her say anything, but that doesn't mean anything happened." But now, you know, when you have Caitlin saying that, and Bree Turner saying what she said, which implied she didn't hear her say anything, and Stephanie White saying what she said, which implied she didn't hear her say anything, and Tyler Marsh saying he found out when everyone else did, and myself, and no one, you know, who was courtside, no cameras, no video, no nothing. What else are you supposed to think? Especially when the entire thing is vague. Especially when the line of questioning to Angel Reese is vague.
This isn't the first time Angel Reese has stirred up drama after being outplayed by Caitlin Clark. Remember the national championship game when Reese taunted Clark with the "you can't see me" gesture, or when she pointed to her finger, hinting at where her championship ring would be. Every time Clark shines brighter, Reese finds a way to change the story.
No one in those first few questions asked Angel what she saw or heard. Now, according to James Boyd of The Athletic, he said that she was later asked, "Were you able to give the WNBA details of where the general vicinity was? You heard stuff." And she said, "That's not a me question," meaning it wasn't for her. Then later somebody asked, What would you like the league to do with those fans? And Sky PR interrupted, saying she already answered that.
While the Sky closed ranks, the Indiana Fever organization stood strong behind Caitlin Clark. They condemned any form of hatred or disrespect, but chose to let their basketball do the talking. And that 35-point blowout sent a loud message. What's truly frustrating is how this manufactured controversy has stolen the spotlight from a landmark moment in women's basketball. The game attracted 2.7 million viewers, marking the most watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years. Instead of celebrating this huge achievement, we're caught up debating unproven allegations that conveniently distract from Reese's lackluster performance.
But I really wish she would, first someone would ask her, and then, I think when she said it's hard to hear, meaning it's hard to hear as like you don't like to hear, or you couldn't actually hear. Just the whole vague aspect of it, and just kind of everybody just going along with it. When I don't know if there's anything to actually go along with.
Pattern couldn't be clearer. Whenever Angel Reese gets outperformed on the court, she stirs up drama off it. While Caitlin Clark keeps her head down and works on her game, Reese is busy crafting a victim narrative. One rises above the noise, the other feeds into it, and the reactions from their fan bases show just how different these approaches are. So who's really fueling the toxic atmosphere in women's basketball? Just take a quick look at social media after this game. Reese's supporters didn't just go after Clark, they launched broad attacks against her entire fan base, throwing out baseless accusations. Search for yourself and you'll see hundreds of tweets insulting Clark's fans and demanding she leave the WNBA, all over a controversy that no one at the game actually saw.
But right now, it is not a good look. It is certainly not a good look. Especially after the season just started and you get record ratings. You get record ratings, Caitlin Clark's back, playing awesome basketball, gets a triple-double, Fever look great, and somehow it appears a couple of Twitter trolls have completely dictated the coverage of the WNBA.
The WNBA's No Space for Hate campaign is being twisted into a tool to deflect any criticism of Angel Reese. Say something critical about her performance, and suddenly you're branded a hater. Question the allegations, and you're accused of being disrespectful. It's the perfect tactic to shut down real basketball conversations. When your star player shoots just 4 for 16 in a crushing 35-point loss, controversy becomes her go-to strategy. From her antics in the championship game to ongoing social media battles, Reese has mastered staying in the spotlight through drama. Every time Caitlin Clark shines brighter on the court, a new off-court scandal conveniently pops up. Meanwhile, Clark simply keeps making history where it counts, on the hardwood.
Hey Angel, how is it like dealing with the environment of people calling you all those names? Oh, if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. Oh, Angel, how did it feel? How did you push through that? Oh, well, obviously it's hard to hear. Wait, did it happen to you, or did you not hear anything happen to you? That's very interesting.
While everyone's caught up debating baseless accusations, the Indiana Fever were putting on an absolute masterclass. Lexi Hall contributed 9 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals. Aaliyah Boston dominated with 19 points and 13 boards. Both Kelsey Mitchell and Natasha Howard dropped 15 points each. Dana Bonner even climbed to 3rd place on the WNBA's all-time scoring list. The entire Fever squad shot a strong 47% from the floor, while holding the Chicago Sky to a mere 29% shooting. That's the real story everyone should be focusing on.
Angel Reese, the WNBA came out and got ahead of any type of wrongdoing and are starting their own investigation. Can you please tell us what was said? Angel, can you please tell us what the fans said to you? Angel, can you please tell us what you heard when you were sitting at the check-in table? Angel, when you were acting like a complete unhinged lunatic, can you please tell us what the families of 4 were screaming at you from the stands? Oh, that's very interesting. I'm going to assume that this is a whole entire hoax, is it not, Angel? Angel, do you think the WNBA is the most unserious basketball league in the history of the world? next squad. Oh, okay.
That's Don't Lie. The Fever dominated the Sky in every key category. They out-rebounded Chicago 46-42, dished out 27 assists compared to the Sky's 14, racked up 13 steals, and forced 17 turnovers. Indiana completely dismantled Chicago on the court, yet instead of celebrating this overwhelming victory, the conversation has shifted to debating social media rumors. Is the WNBA letting itself get sidetracked by this manufactured drama? This controversy drove the highest regular season viewership in 25 years, pulling in 2.7 million viewers. While drama and unfounded claims grab headlines and fuel Twitter wars from Reese's camp, the Fever players are quietly doing what matters most: winning games.
58 points. 30 whatever point win. You know, embarrassing. They got embarrassed, and now this reaction is embarrassing. I almost can't believe it's real.
The WNBA launched a full investigation based solely on tweets. Even the Chicago Sky's own coach admitted he only found out about these allegations after the game, just like the rest of us scrolling through social media. That's not proof, that's just rumor. What really happened? The Fever crushed the Sky in a 35-point rout. Caitlin Clark and her teammates played with skill and professionalism, while Angel Reese and the Sky were simply outmatched. As we look ahead to 2025, fans should be focusing on the incredible basketball, not the manufactured controversy. The Fever demonstrated how to win with class, while Reese showed how losing looks without taking responsibility. If you're with Indiana, drop an "I've got the Fever" in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Tap the video on screen and we'll catch you in the next one.